Hello, viewers. My name is Professor Archbishop Chidiebere Ogbu. I've come to share with you a message I call We Are Like Aeroplane. I pray that this very message will give you some insight, ideas, and concepts, and it will be a deliverance unto your understanding. Now look at the first book of Corinthians, chapter 12, verse 4 to 6. It says, there are different kinds of gifts, but the same Spirit. There are different kinds of service, but the same Lord. There are different kinds of working, but the same God worketh all of them in all men. A person's gift creates opportunity for him to come before great men and also shapes his individual life. The individual lives are like travelers coming to the airport and waiting for their flights and the time of their departure. While you are coming into the airport to travel, you discover that some people are already arriving and leaving the airport. As you are trying to check into your flight at the departure hall, you realize that others are already coming out of the immigration after stamping their passports and collecting their luggage and moving into the arrival hall. Whenever someone wakes up from the sleep, that's his or her morning, not minding your time zone in your geographical location. Anytime your flight is scheduled to take off is your own time. You will discover that your airline are different. You are using a different airline from other people who have come to fly. That the destinations you are going to are different. That your flight schedules are different because some are flying in the morning, some are in the afternoon, some are in the evening. The distances you are traveling are different. Your flight fares, your flight tickets, the costs are different. Your flight routes are different. The numbers of passengers of your flights, your plane is carrying are different. The height your aeroplane is climbing to are different. Your times of arrival to your various destinations are different. The sizes of your aircraft, your aeroplanes, and the capacities are different. So you don't compete with anyone about your time, about size, about success, or who you will become. One day, I flew into Nigeria, and I was traveling from Nigeria to United States. At the airport, it has already begun raining with storms and lightning. As a result of the heavy rain, as a result of the storms and lightning, those who live in Nigeria or those who comes or visits Nigeria will understand what I'm saying because it pours when it rains. Now they began to cancel many flights. And I realized that most of the flights that are being canceled were domestic flights. And they were small aircraft. But our aircraft is a big one, a Boeing aircraft. When an aeroplane is ready to fly, it leaves the hangar to the loading bay where passengers will check in before they board. Once the door of the aircraft is closed after boarding, the aeroplane becomes pregnant with a mission. Whenever an aeroplane becomes pregnant, it leaves the loading bay and goes far away to the runway, making sure that it's alone on the runway, distancing itself from other aircrafts, where there will not be any distraction, no obstruction, and far from all hindrances and encumbrances, then testing its wings and getting ready to fly out. That is how anyone with a vision and ready to implement that vision distances himself or herself from certain people to avoid distraction and the obstruction that may be caused by enemies of destiny and from witches or evil activities. It is only a mad woman that carries her pregnancy to an environment where there is a protest or where there is rioting, because surely there will be a miscarriage of the pregnancy. Now, hear this. While we were already boarded and our aircraft moved to the runway and soon gathered speed and began to climb up, amidst the heavy rain, storm, and lightning. The aeroplane was shaking, yet it was climbing. It was shaking. After some time, the shaking stopped, and the storm, the lightning and the rain, it stopped because it couldn't be seen anymore. As I was sitting by the window side and very frightened and yet sweating, and I was bracing for a crash because I thought surely there's going to be a crash, I looked outside the window and saw that the lightning, the storm and the rain were still going on underneath. But the aeroplane has gone past above it, and the aeroplane was steady, not shaking anymore. In my surprise and confusion at what happened, I heard a small voice that said, storms are natural part of life. It could be the death of a loved one. It could be an accident. It could be a sickness. It could be divorce. It could be lack. It could be poverty. But it causes obstructions, distraction, and it makes you lose focus. Listen to me. Anytime you are about to embark on a project, no matter the storm and lightning, take off. Anytime you are about to take off in a project, and here comes storms and the thunders and the lightning and the anything, whatever it is, take off. Because it's only a distraction and an obstruction. Now, while we are already up far above, I look down to see Lagos, that used to be very vast city in which we are swallowed and intimidated. Mind you, see, Lagos seems to be the largest and biggest city in Nigeria. I discovered how little it has become. Anytime you are close to something, it usually swallows and intimidates you. But when you are far away from it, you will see how little it becomes. So in the midst of the storm, I realized that the pilot was in control. He was in charge of the aircraft, and he was focused. And he has a roadmap of where he is going to. Life is like an aeroplane with a pilot and crew on board, which has many passengers. The crew members could be professional engineers, could be technicians, and medical practitioners. But the pilot is the only one with the roadmap, and his absence might crash the plane. Those on board the aircraft are not with the pilot on the cockpit. Yes, it is only the pilot and the co-pilot that is on the cockpit. And most crew members do not visit the pilot's cockpit. Therefore, including the passengers and most crew members, they do not know when danger is approached. They do not know when danger is averted, or what next to do, when next to do it, or where next to go. They only rely on announcement by the pilot or a crew member. Acceptably, it is very frustrating when you do not know and understand what is happening around you. Don't know the danger, the sacrifice, the speed, the time, and the distance covered and yet to be covered. But you are only sitting on the passenger seat, only to be instructed by the crew members to open and close the window shutters. Fasten your seatbelt. Take your breakfast. Take your tea. Lunchtime and dinner. And can only be allowed to go to the toilet, but cannot see from the cockpit. You are just blindly seated and you are being carried along because you will be trusting on the pilot that is carrying you. Whenever someone takes over from a pilot forcefully, either by persuasion or by manipulation or by intimidation, it becomes a hijack, because the aeroplane will always be diverted to another route from its original route if it is taken over from the pilot. We are the aeroplane, and Jesus Christ is the pilot of our life, and the Holy Spirit is the crew member that serves and directs us on our journey of life. Your gift will always shape your life. God bless you.